Well, welcome again. I thought I'd do this again because someone had asked me if they could put this up on their Instagram. There you go. Fireflies. Why right there? I want to reiterate this point. Before I get into whatever the fuck I need to talk about, which isn't really much. It's everything. Someone had asked if they could put this up and said, is this a dream? I think this is a dream. But why would I be dreaming about fireflies? Well, I'm certainly awake and aware. Not of everything, but as much as I can be. There's fireflies right there. And is it because... And here, I'll show you. Maybe I could help you guys out with something. Here's the little bit that I consumed tonight. I'll show you something. Let me show you. Let's see if we can... I have to go inside and show you this. Oh, I can't show you because it's not gonna show up on the... It's too dark out here. But I'll tell you what it is as we get into... I mean, am I projecting this and you can all see it? Let me see if we can do this. I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing called absinthe. Well, that's not what I'm drinking. So let me get to this. Let me get to this firefly so I can. There is something actually called Firefly, which is very funny. And Firefly is a beverage that is basically iced tea, vodka, and sweet. It's still like 80 proof or something. Oh, there it is. And absinthe is how you can see the green fairy. You know what absinthe is? It's this liqueur that what you do is you take wormwood, which has thujone in it, and a bunch of different elements, and you extract that into I don't think it's a liqueur. I think it's just a liquor. But then you add a sugar cube and you let water drip on top of it into the glass. So it's this whole thing. And a lot of the old poets, 1800s, 1900s. I wish I could tell you exactly who the poets were, but I think if you look up green fairies and wormwood and fireflies and green fairies and let me see if and an absinthe, which is called the spirit of New Orleans. Well, it's not really called the spirit of New Orleans, but what I'm drinking is the spirit of New Orleans, and this is not. There you go. This is not absinthe. This is called Herb Saint, and it's a green liqueur. And it has anise in it, or aniseed. I think it's just anise. I don't think it's aniseed. I mean, they're very similar. One is a star aniseed, and one is... maybe anise is the just... well, maybe aniseed is the seed to the star anise. I'm not sure, but... Anyways, that's... I haven't drank that much of it. I've had like 2 drinks of it. But y'all are looking exactly what I'm looking at. Let's get back in here. The earlier video I made, you could very well clearly see the and they were very green or white-ish. Have they subsided? Maybe they have. Maybe I'll just call this a night out here. But y'all seen earlier in the video, and if you watch my last video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, they might be done. They've been dancing around. So let's go inside and sit down, and we'll finish my thoughts on this weirdness. And we'll get into the Dreamworld and all these other things. Oh, they're done dancing for the night, huh? Talk about magic and fairies and love and so many things I'd like to talk about, but I don't like to. Well, you know, I go so deep into all of the things that I experience on a regular basis, and that's where I get. if someone were to ask me, where do you find your words from? Where do you find your art from? How do you come in contact with the other realms? It's just a everyday life living, and and also getting the dream world, which is living. And so someone had asked if we're living in a dream world, and they thought that maybe the last video that I made, and I suggest go watch that if what I was just filming earlier wasn't proof enough of the weirdness of here. I live in New Orleans, and I've never seen any fireflies. Maybe once, maybe, I said never. I don't, never say never. Maybe once I seen fireflies at City Park, or maybe there's another park on the other side of town. Maybe. But it's not the weather for it. Even if I lived like other places I've lived, I've seen plenty of fireflies. I'm very familiar with how they function, but it's not like right after it rains. I've never seen them near electrical wires. Although I get it, like electricity, fireflies. But if they already have electricity, are they getting it? Are they getting the energy from the electrical wires, the transformer? I don't know. Those are all like kind of secondary questions. And let's see how much time I got here. I got like 10 minutes or so. Let me see if I can dig into this a little bit. It's like, how does the mind work? Let me do this. Let me help you guys out a little bit more. So today I went, because it is the born day, due to the cycles of the sun over our realm. There's been about 40 of them, the sun cycles for me. Apparently, I don't know, because I wasn't there or aware when I was born onto this. Because you always got those like 5 years where you don't know what's going on, right? So it's interesting that the book 1984 is would be right around 5 years into my experience here. So you come out the womb and you don't remember that, and you don't remember the first 5 years and learning how to walk and learning how to speak and blah blah blah. Those are just little side notes that are hilarious and curious and funny to me. But you come into this realm and you see things and you experience things in a certain fashion. Like, you can ask Santa Claus for something. Let's try this idea for people. Obviously you grow up and you realize Santa Claus doesn't really exist. It was like your aunts, your uncles, your parents, your friends, your family that would buy you things for Christmas. But you'd write it down, you'd ask for it, you'd be like, Santa Claus, can I get a fucking pony, or whatever the fuck people ask for. I don't know why. And no, maybe that's what you ask for your birthday, if you're get a fucking pony or a unicorn. Yeah, it's always got to be like a horse or a Pegasus or a pony, right? That kind of, or maybe or a Tonka truck, or you want He-Man, or like Godzilla. You could ask for all of these things, and you tend to get most of what you ask for. Interestingly, depending on the culture you live in, depending on do you live in the suburbs, the urban areas, the city, or do they tell you like, well, Santa Claus doesn't exist, you're not going to get exactly what you want, but you can always work in the magical realms. And these are the kind of questions that go through my head, especially when I see something like that, which is spawned off of what someone had asked me earlier. So how long does it take? Did I want to see green fairies? Oh, and I didn't finish my earlier part because I was so like enamored by a few things that have occurred recently. Enamored, is that the right word? Just so like, have you ever been next to yourself? Have you been beside yourself? Like, what is going on here? Like, how is this occurring? Like, oh man, really? I mean, in a good way or a bad way or an indifferent way, but just like synchronicities or whatever. And I had earlier today, I had went and got my spine adjusted. I went to a chiropractor, and the dude couldn't adjust too many things on me because my spine was pretty good, but he did catch a one of the vertebrae in my neck, close to my atlas. If anybody's familiar with what that is, it's what holds your head upon your spine, and it felt like he adjusted that. And I was walking different after, like it allowed my neck to work a little differently. And then, but so it was this long massage and long adjustment, but he couldn't really adjust much. But that, and I was like, whoa, that was a deep crack that he had. I felt like it might have been my atlas that he adjusted, but I don't know. If he did, fucking magic, and thank you, you know. And after that, I went and got cupping done on my back, and then a massage, and then acupuncture. And the person that had done it, she was like super magic. I asked her if she was asked her first if she was a swinwit. And if you don't know what a swinwit is, it's an Egyptian healer. It's an old ancient woman that from Egypt, obviously, Egyptology, that knows the arts and the science of, well, oils too. She was really good with the oils. So, anyways, I went and got that done, and then afterwards, like, fun day, wonderful day. I drank a bunch. What I did was I went to a restaurant and drank, let's see, just about every different liquor that is available. That was my goal. Is I'm not just drinking vodka. I'm gonna drink vodka and gin and rum and let's see, just name all of them. And so I went through the gambit. I could probably tell you all of them if I sat and thought for a second. And I didn't really get that drunk. Like I was pretty okay because I'm a seasoned vet at consuming the spirits, but I'd consumed most of them. And the only thing I didn't drink was the Herb Saints. I have this bottle here, and I'd come home and I've had like 1 or 2 sips of it. It's like not really much. And I laid on my couch in hopes of hanging out with a friend of mine, and woke up at an odd hour because I said, let me take a nap because this person was working, and I was like, okay, I'll see them later. And I get up and I go outside, and there's these fairies just floating around. There are these fireflies. That reminds me of this song. Was it Jack Johnson that does Fireflies, or I might have to look that up. Man, see, this is why I wish I could be doing a live stream right now, because it'd make more sense. I could just look it up on the TV and I'd have enough time to do it. But I do not have enough time because I'm just gonna have to broadcast this after I record it. I don't know really where else I was gonna go with this, other than to get into how quickly do you manifest things, and what would a green fairy drinking this and consuming the other spirits and getting a spine adjustment and having someone do a bunch of different energy work on me. I don't know if she was really familiar with Reiki, but she definitely did some energy work on me and said a few things that, because she was more of the, I think she was probably more of the Russian descent. And if you say Russian, then that gives you a whole, like, into the, well, because Russia, you got Asia and the deeper European culture, and then it even connects a little bit to Greenland and, say, Ireland and the different Viking arts and things. And because I'd asked her, I was like, "Are you some sort of gypsy?" And it was just so funny. It was just so I wonder, as the realms of magicians, and I think in Harry Potter they call them, you know, like you've got the people that know of magic, and then the people that do not, and I leave that open because I think some people go, oh, I know Harry Potter, I've seen that movie, and they're gonna know what they're called. And there's a lot of different names for the people that don't work with magic and don't know magic, and then there's um, higher levels of magic and different colored magic, and yeah, just a lot of curiosities and questions into this, and I would like to go a lot deeper on some things of a, and I want to call it personal level, but because I don't think anything is that personal. I think everything is pretty much open for our connected mind. Say, En Lakesh, I'm another you, we're living the same dream. And there's so much more I'd like to say on this, but I do not have the battery power on my phone or the memory kit on here because, well, it's an old phone, and without being able to do live videos, which I thought I'd be able to do by now after my copyright strike against my channel, the only one. I mean, I have copyright, you know, you get claims, blocks, and strikes, I guess. And like, you know, once in a while you put like a piece of a video of someone else's, or like you play some music or something. And that would happen to me all the time. I'd be walking through the city, or I'd sit down and like music would be playing, and be like, oh, your video's been blocked because this person has copyright claimed you, blah, blah, blah. And then one time I just sat down, I was like, I just played some music because I was like, okay, well, this is all that happens. Like, there's been plenty of music on my channel that it's kind of playing in the background, and my videos got shut down for it. So I figured my video would just get shut down if the worst case scenario. And instead, I can't make live videos. And I thought that today I'd be able to make live videos because it was like 3 months worth of not doing live videos. But that didn't happen. I digress off of that. I digress off of that point. But so that's why I'm not making this live, and hopefully this broadcast makes it to your ears and it makes any sense. Stay well, do new and curious things, and hopefully you find some sort of amazement and love and weirdness and strangeness and curiosity in your life. Talk to y'all soon.